Food is not just about survival and the next meal we're going to eat. It is what brings us together, and it often tells us a story about our cultures and our nation's history, and that is exactly what former Ohio State Senator Capri Cafaro will explore further in Season 2 of America the Bountiful. She's joining us now to share more about her series returning to PBS. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it's Season 2. It seems like Season 1 was just yesterday.
I know, and America's full of so many delicious things to eat, but also the traditions. I'm blown away when I follow your social media. You've been on so many adventures. You've learned a lot hands-on, like the way things are harvested across the country. So what excites you the most about Season 2 versus Season 1?
You know, I will say from a personal perspective, I kind of know a little bit more what I'm doing in Season 2 versus Season 1, just simply because it is a very different experience being on live television versus, you know, doing something that you tape and that you edit together and you're trying to tell stories. So it's a different medium for me. It's a different skill set. So there's a little bit of, it was a little bit of a difference for me as an individual. Season 2, we delve into 13 new states. And so we are once again traversing all the way from the Pacific Northwest in Washington State, all the way down to the bayou in Louisiana. I feel like there's a lot of water in Season 2 just by absolute happenstance. So you'll see me, you know, out on a lobster boat pulling lobster traps. You'll see me riding in a boat, harvesting crawfish in Louisiana, fishing salmon out in Washington State, and of course, fishing our famous walleye here in Lake Erie to showcase our home state, Ohio.
Yeah, you're bringing it even back home because you say you're traveling the back roads. And I think that some folks who haven't seen your show before, describe kind of what it's like to go and immerse yourself in this experience for every episode.
You know, I've said this to you before, Lindsay, but I think it warrants being told again to this audience that so much of this show was inspired by my time, you know, as a public servant here in northeastern Ohio, representing my home county and beyond. You know, when you think about the type of ethnic festivals that we have here, every Greek fest, Italian fest, and then you think about pumpkin festivals, apple festivals, and then, you know, I represented Ashtabula County as well. So what do we have? You know, the large Amish country, the North Coast, the wineries, the fishing. And I always thought to myself, if this is what we have in this little corner of the world, what else is out there that can tell a story through food? Because it tells a story. It tells an immigration story. It tells a story of geography, of climate, of our economy, and that's what we aim to do. And it's not just about the big cities. For example, we go to Illinois, where we tell Illinois story through pumpkin. Now we do go to Chicago, where I visit a Mexican restaurant run by an individual who's a native of Oaxaca, the state of Oaxaca, and he integrates pumpkin and pumpkin seeds into a traditional Mexican dish. But then I go out in, you know, 3 hours south into where they actually grow the pumpkins and where we actually get the pumpkins for the canned pumpkin for pumpkin pie and those heirloom pumpkins we put on our stoops. So it's not just the obvious, but it's about celebrating where our food comes from, who's growing it, who's turning it into something incredible, and then understanding our neighbors a little bit better in other states through food.
And have you made some really cool connections and helped other businesses because of your spotlight that you're putting on all of these different places that are either making or growing the foods that we enjoy?
Well, you know, I can speak to this through our experience with Season 1, and I know that with you know, makers that, you know, have produced things like jellies or pecans or whatever, or maple, you know, anecdotally they have said that this has brought, you know, newfound interest into the work that they do, which is wonderful. And, you know, I've had an opportunity to speak to viewers who are really excited about cooking along and trying to do some of the recipes that we've featured. And people that are just learning things that, you know, you just didn't know about where food comes from or how it connects to the history of the place that we're talking about. Like, I'll give you an example. In Season 2, we talk about wheat in Kansas. Now, that may sound like the most bland thing possible. It is actually super interesting, tells a story of Mennonite Ukrainians that came and brought a specific type of wheat to the prairies of the United States and Kansas, and as they say, the rest is history.
Oh yeah, and you're living through this, so it's fun to watch your adventures. How can people watch Season 2 and maybe also catch up on Season 1?
Absolutely. Well, we are on, last time we were on 95% of all PBS stations across the United States. We anticipate it the same this time around. each PBS public television station, they schedule things on their own. They make their own schedule. So each one is different. So stay tuned for the local ones. PBS Western Reserve, WVIZ Idea Stream. They have not yet been scheduled. We anticipate June.
Okay.
The end of April is Pittsburgh. If you don't want to wait around until they air on TV, or you can click around, you can go to pbs.org, you can go to the PBS app, PBS's YouTube, and you can start watching them already online and catch up on season 1 as well as season 2. We are now into week 2 of season 2 online, and for the stations that already started to air it.
Very exciting, and America is very lucky that you are able to explore all this and share, because this is so wonderful.
It's my honor to be able to share these stories and amplify these voices of these folks all across the United States.
Thank you for being here.